Hey, what is up everybody? It's Jason, and I am post-op. I forget how many days. Is it Wednesday today? No, it's Thursday. I'm like 4 days post-op, something like that. I'm all wrapped up in here. I actually just had my first post-op appointment with one of my surgeons, and he re-wrapped me a little bit. I actually have a compression tank below my wrappings, and then I have a tank top over that, so it's very complicated right now, all that's going on here. So I'm glad that he did the compression tank underneath though, because it's a lot more comfortable. Yeah, so at this post-op appointment, he redid my dressings and stuff, and he re-wrapped me and all that, but that was after he took the drains out. So I got the drains out only 4 days post-op. So, and yeah, I've had a runny nose ever since I got out of surgery, pretty much. I went into, well, it was 5 a.m. when we got to the hospital. I woke up at 4 and we drove over, got ready 30 minutes and then drove over, and we got to the hospital around 5, and I got in at about, well, pretty soon after that, so it was probably about 5:30 once I got to the room, which was good. And then a bunch of stuff happened. And I saw the first nurse, and she gave me like the IV and stuff. That was the worst, and I can't even remember everything that happened. I got changed down into the gown and stuff like that, and all this stuff. And so, yeah. And I saw the anesthesiologist, I saw both of my surgeons. I saw the nurse that was going to be in when I was having surgery. My surgery time was at 7, and they wheeled me into the surgical room at right around then, and they didn't even ask me to count to 10, or count backwards from 10 or whatever. They were just like, alright, go to sleep now, and it was just like, okay. And then I was out. It was pretty sudden, actually. And then I woke up. I was in and out of consciousness for a while. When I first woke up, apparently I have post-operative nausea vomiting, so that was fun. I threw up twice right after I woke up the first time. I was like so disoriented, and I was like, I need to throw up. I said that like really low, and it was very difficult to get that out. And then I threw up twice, which was great. I hadn't had anything to eat since 8:30 the previous night, so that effectively got rid of my dinner and everything I had in my body. So, yeah. And I was in and out of consciousness for a really long time, actually. It was probably like 3 hours. I don't even remember. So, my mom, my aunt, my friend, and my cousin were in the hospital with me post-op. They only let 2 people come in at once, just because the room was so small, and I wasn't even in my own little private room. It was just like with the curtains and stuff. So my mom and my aunt came in first, because my aunt is a nurse and she wanted to see how it was and blah blah blah. So that was cool. And then later on, my cousin and my friend came in. They said hi, and then later on my aunt came back and she was like, okay, we're gonna leave, bye. So she left with my cousin, and I didn't remember. I remembered some of it, but I just kind of remember that they were there, and I was falling back asleep while they were talking and while they were there and stuff like that. So then my friend stayed for a little while longer, and then her mom picked her up. And yeah, so I was really just in and out the whole time. And so I finally went up to go to the bathroom after a while. And so they asked me, they were like, do you want a wheelchair or do you want a bedpan? And I was like, wheelchair. So they rolled me out and I went to the bathroom and I tugged on the cord near the toilet paper dispenser thing because my nurse told me to do that when I was done and then open the door. And then I just opened the door to go out and I was like, uh-oh. And I was like, I feel like I have to throw up again. And so I ran back out to the toilet and I threw up again. But it was just water because I had nothing in my system. So, and then I think I threw up one more time after that. It was just water again because I had no food left in me. So yeah, and so I didn't eat for a really long time. My first food was some saltines and graham crackers, and then some water. Or I'd had water the whole time, but yeah. So yeah, just a lot of being in and out of consciousness and throwing up. So, and then I spent that night in the hospital, and these are really uncomfortable. Oh my god. Ugh. I thought these didn't have to be so tight, but they do. Oh, I'm probably gonna get bruising on here. Anyway, yeah, so I spent the first night in the hospital. The IV was in the whole time, which was horrifying. I hate having an IV in. I have the scar from it right here. I actually heal pretty quickly, so like you can barely even tell. You know, if you were to look at my hand, you'd just be like, oh, it's just a little scratch. Oh, it's honestly kind of hard to talk right now because this is really tight. He rewrapped me and it was tight. So, oh. I'm glad I've got my compression tank on underneath, so that was good. And then that night, I just kind of kept waking up every couple of hours. That night, nurses saw me throughout, and you know they drained my fluids from the drain, and you know, there was a doctor to check up on me and stuff like that, and the nurses checked my vitals. I was sort of conscious for both of those times. And then in the morning they checked my vitals again, and I was out by 2:30 p.m. or 2, something like that. I kind of had to make a big stink about getting out for them to release me, just because like I still had the IV in by like 1:30, and it was ridiculous because they told me I'd be out by, well, they said like 23 hours after surgery, which would have been early. So that would have been like 6 a.m. And then they asked me like, do you want to try to walk down by yourself or do you want a wheelchair? And I was like, I'll take a chair. And I was glad about that just because I was like, you know, I wasn't very strong to do things. We left at about 2:30. I got home and, you know, my friend visited that day. I was in and out of it. I was glad to be home. It's still kind of hard to get comfortable. So yeah, the last couple of days have just been really chill. I saw my friend again yesterday. It's really tight right now. It's kind of hard to talk, honestly, just because it's so tight. Ugh. So he said I can take this ace bandage off by Saturday, which is in 2 days. No, he said I can take this off and redress everything on Saturday, and then I can completely take it off on Tuesday when he sees me again. Fingers crossed that's when he sees me again. Oh my god. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'll let you all know how that goes after that. So yeah, that's just a little brief overview of what'll happen. I'll take some pictures on Saturday when I rewrap and redress myself and stuff like that. I want to take some selfies, just like, I'll post them on the next video, I guess. So, yeah, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.